Tasha, you fucking stink. The look on Tasha's face reminded me of how I feel on a daily basis. And to help her out, I yelled, "Excuse me, I had cheesy pizza last night." The entire class busted out laughing and called me all types of stinky names. But when I saw the reaction on Miss Lindley and Tasha's face, it made the name calling worth it. After 8 hours of name calling, class was let out. And Miss Lindley pulled me aside and told me how brave I was for standing up for Tasha and that she was proud that I did so. I never had someone tell me that they was proud of me, so I couldn't do nothing but smile. And honestly, it was the best compliment I ever received in my life. As I began to leave class, I saw the pizza delivery man in the hallway. And the first thing that came to my mind was, how do you go to Smith Hill Middle School and you deliver pizzas? Don't you have to be at least 16 to drive? So to save myself from getting beat up again, I just turned the other way and attempted to leave the building as fast as possible. Then out of nowhere I heard, "Hey yo, that's Poe Lucy's son." I knew he was talking about my mother, but her name is Mary Carter, and she never had that name before. A few other kids looked confused, while a majority of the guys started questioning the pizza man as if it were true or not. I just ran out the building because I was still sore from the back-to-back beatdowns, and I saw another one starting to happen. As I began to walk home from school, I realized my 8th grade year was going to be rough, but I had no choice but to stick it through. Halfway home, I saw the pretty girl with blue eyes, red hair, and pretty long legs sitting on the porch again. I was too nervous to wave, but she stared at me the whole time, so I counted that as an interaction. When I finally got home, I saw my dad outside arguing with 2 kids. My dad looked like he snorted 2 lines before the argument, and he yells out, "Stay off my fucking lawn and play in your own grass." The 2 kids replied, "Fuck your lawn. Plus we was here first, and you're lucky we're young, or we kick your ass." The next thing my dad says is, "Well, I have a son you guys' age, and he'll kick both of your asses." My heart immediately dropped when I heard that. First off, I can't fight, and secondly, if I take another beating, I might just die. So I stayed across the street until I saw everyone was in their house. I ended up staying until midnight. As I walked across the street, I saw my mom pulling in the driveway, so I immediately ran to the house. Once I got in, I noticed my mom had on very tight clothes and only a bra on. I asked her where was her clothes, but she said it was hot outside. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking it's freezing outside, but I just let it go. She also had ones in her pocket, but it was more than she had the previous day. She then asked if I wanted to share a pizza with her. I asked, "Well, are we going to go pick it up?" And she said, "No, we can just order one." I wasn't worried this time since she wasn't high and could defend us if he tried to rob us again. 10 minutes later, we get a ring at the door, and it was the same delivery guy from school who robbed us yesterday. When my mom answered the door, the guy says, "Poe Lucy, how you doing, sweetheart?" My mom then grabbed him by a collar and said, "Don't you ever call me that around my family again," and threw the $10 in his face and told him to leave. The delivery guy laughs and says, "How about you give me that good sloppy toppy and you can keep your punk ass $10. Immediately, my mom slammed the door in his face. "It's cool, bitch. You can't slam the door at 6902. Make sure that mouth is ready tomorrow," he yells through the door. My mom then falls to the floor in tears, and after 3 minutes of crying, she snorted 2 lines and passed out. I was puzzled about the whole situation. What's sloppy toppy? What's 6902? And why does he keep calling her Poe Lucy? Besides all that, I now have 3 pieces, and I didn't get beat up today. So I thought things were starting to turn around. The next day, I got up early enough to take the long route to school. So I ate a slice of pizza, put on my t-shirt and black jeans, and my backpack was ready for me to head out for school. I was about to head out the house and go out the front door until I saw the 2 kids that my dad was arguing with through the peephole. I knew that they was waiting on me, but I couldn't take another beating, so I went through the back door instead. As I made my way to school, I saw the pretty girl with blue eyes, red hair, and long pretty legs again. And today I felt a tad bit confident, so I waved. And surprisingly, she waved back and smiled. I was so geeked that I smiled all the way to school, and I even started skipping. When I got to school, I got the crazy looks again, but I just went straight to class. 40 minutes into class, I heard a loud burst. "Please send Tasha funky ass to another room." Immediately, I said sorry. All we had at home last night was cheesy pizza again. And the laughter and the jokes began as well. A teacher then came to the door and asked for Miss Lindley. As soon as Miss Lindsay turned her back, someone sucker punched me and said, "Fart again and I'm going to fuck you up." The loud pop and everyone yelling, "Ooh," made Miss Lindsay turn around fast. She then looked at me and asked who hit me, and I said nobody. She then asked why did I have a black eye. I said, "Miss Lindsay, every day I've been in this part of town, I either been beat up or damn near, so I'm used to it by now." Miss Lindsay became furious and asked the class who hit me, but of course no one replied. She then says, "Well, since no one knows, everyone will stay out there for detention for 2 hours." That started an uproar in the classroom. "I have a basketball game. I got a hair appointment. I'm going to the Chiefs game. I got a date at 5 o'clock, Miss Lindsay." Then out of nowhere, the whole class goes, "James did it." Miss Lindsay asked James to leave. As he walked towards the door, he said, "You motherfuckers ain't real. You gonna back up this white boy? Fuck y'all." After class, Miss Lindsay told us to remind our parents about early parent-teacher conference, but said if our parents could not attend, to let her know first thing in the morning. She gave us a handout, but I just threw it away because my parents would only embarrass me. I took the alternate route home again and saw the pretty girl on the porch again. "Oh my God, she is just so beautiful," I said to myself. When I got close to the neighborhood, I saw the two kids waiting in front of the house for me again, so I waited till midnight to go home once again. As I made my way across the street, the biggest black guy I ever seen in my life walked up on me, and he said, "What's good, little nigga?" I really don't know how to reply to that because all my life I was taught not to say that word or even think about saying it, so I just stayed quiet. He started laughing because he saw how scared I was, and he said, "I'm Tyrone. I'm Tasha's older brother. I just want to thank you for keeping those kids off our back." I said, "No problem. I'd rather them make fun of me instead of her anyways." Tyrone thanked me again and asked me who were the two dudes I was hiding from. He said that the past 2 days he noticed that I wouldn't cross the street until they left. I then replied to him, "Oh, I'm not hiding. I just like to wait for my mom to get home before I go into the neighborhood." The look on Tyrone's face, the look that Tyrone made him, the look on Tyrone's face showed that he knew I was lying, but he simply told me that if I need anything, just to ask. I gave him a nod and told him thanks and proceeded to go home. When I got inside, I was surprised to see that my mom and dad were still awake. They both looked like they were coming down from their high, but were still pretty spaced out. I then went upstairs to my room to eat some pizza and watch cartoons until I fell asleep. Before I could get into the show, I heard loud noises downstairs as if people were running. As I got closer to my bedroom door, all I heard was, "Don't move or I'll shoot." My mom started crying, asking for them to leave. I then walked to the stairway to see what was going on, and my dad yells out, "We don't have anything. Take whatever and leave." The gunman then took his gun and smacked my dad across the face and told him to shut up, while the second gunman put his gun in my mother's mouth and told her that if she screamed again that it would be her last time screaming. The three guys then took my mom's money and our living room TVs and our microwave. After they left, I came downstairs to see if my parents were alright, and out of nowhere my dad yells, "Who left the back door open?" "Dad, I'm sorry," I replied. "I was only trying to get away from those two kids you were arguing with because they were going to jump me." At this point, I knew my dad was going to kill me, but he simply said that from now on, I am to leave from the front door. "Yes, sir," I replied. And as I headed to my room, my parents continued their daily routine, except this time they were holding spoons with lighters and poles outside their mouths. I just figured it was another form of getting high, so I just went to my room and went to sleep. The next morning when I woke up, I didn't want to leave the house because my dad already told me that I had to leave from the front door from now on. And I knew the two kids my dad was arguing with would be outside. After I ate a slice of pizza and put on my clothes, I headed out the door. But when I walked out, I noticed that the two kids weren't outside, which caught me by surprise. I made sure that they wasn't hiding behind the house across the street or behind the trash can. And when I saw that the coast was clear, I headed for school. Halfway there, I saw the pretty girl, and I waved, but only this time I said hi. And surprisingly, she said hi back and to have a good day. You would have thought that I won $1 million from the way I got so excited. So again, I had the biggest smile on my face and started to skip. I got literally 3 houses past the pretty girl's house, and I heard, "Hey, white boy, we've been looking for you." I then turned around